Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be having an open, honest conversation about intentional cannabis use and its role in holistic wellness. No shame, no judgment. Just real talk about plant medicine and conscious healing. For centuries, cultures worldwide have worked with cannabis as a sacred plant ally. Yet today, many carry a deep shame about its use, even in places where it's legal. Where does this stigma come from? And more importantly, how can we move beyond it to develop a healthy, intentional relationship with this plant? When approached mindfully, cannabis can be a powerful tool for processing difficult emotions and past experiences. Many find it helps create the mental space and capacity needed to examine trauma without becoming overwhelmed. But the key word here is mindful. Here's an example of what mindful cannabis use can look like. First, I set clear intentions. Before each session, I take a moment to ground myself and clarify my purpose. What am I seeking? Am I seeking emotional release, creative flow, physical healing? This intention setting can transform consumption from a habit to a sacred practice. I like to create a calm, safe space or environment for myself when I'm doing a more intentional session. Some things that you might want to include are calming music, candles or like softer lighting, a comfortable place to sit and relax and unwind. If you're doing it for an intentional release, like emotionally, it can be helpful to have a journal nearby. Always keep some water by your side. And then anything else that might feel supportive. Some people would use crystals to help amplify the intention and just have a weighted blanket. Just anything that's going to help make it even more enjoyable and relaxing and fulfilling and intentional. For the more holistic approach to healing with your intentional use of cannabis, breathing is essential. I start with 3 deep breaths to center myself. This helps activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which moves us out of fight or flight into a more receptive state where healing can occur. And remember, this plant carries divine energy. When we approach it with consciousness and respect, it can help release old patterns, connect us to our inner wisdom, process emotions with greater clarity, access deeper states of meditation, and find physical and emotional relief. But let's be real, this isn't about spiritual bypassing. Intentional use means being honest about our relationship with the plant. Are we using it to enhance our healing journey or to avoid dealing with things? And there's no judgment either way. It's just an invitation for us to get real with ourselves. Integration is crucial. What insights arise during your session? How can you carry them forward? I do like to try and keep my journal next to me or nearby so that I can write down and record thoughts, revelations, or patterns that I've had come to me and other things that I notice. And I do want to make a point and to say, for those working through trauma, please be gentle with yourself. Consider working with a cannabis-friendly therapist or a counselor who can help you safely navigate this journey if you feel like you need or would benefit from some sort of external assistance. While plant medicine can be healing, having professional support is invaluable. And that I will say, I have been very honest with my therapist personally about how much it's been helpful for me to be able to work through and push myself to other levels that because my nervous system, all it knows for the most of my life is super dysregulation and being in and out of out of survival modes at different points and different aspects and all that stuff. And coming out of it is not an easy journey, but it is possible. And I just want people to know that and remember that. And the more we hear it, the more we'll start, you can trust it and believe it. It's really worth it. And before I wrap up, I just want to say that your healing journey is valid. Whether or not cannabis is a part of your journey with that, you deserve to find what works with you without any shame or judgment from you or outside. But I will say, or maybe I'll make another video about my journey to using cannabis and how I use it for the most part. I feel like with anything, we all can go through a bit of a phase where you're kind of like abusing it. Not in a sense that it's like bad. Like, I don't think it's bad, but you know, if you're going first utilizing that before doing any other technique or any sort of help with regulation, then I think you should maybe evaluate it, because there are times, but there are times that I know, because of other things I cannot get myself down to a point on my own to be able to even go and then do yoga, to go and then do a nervous system reset, to go and then go on a walk, to go sometimes you just can be so activated that you do need a little bit of help. And I've had to work through my own journey of not feeling shame about that. And it did take a little bit of acknowledging on my part, like, okay, we can't just be going there and then just like collapsing. So again, it takes a little bit of willpower and like discipline to use it, get yourself to a point where you can then continue on with whatever else you need to do or wanted to do. It just helps so much. And I know how much shame is around this. And I've had to personally work through so much. My family is not exactly, part of my family is not supportive. They don't understand. They think it's something that it's not because of how they grew up. And that was instilled in me. And I really have worked through and let go of so much shame with it, because it helps me in so many ways. I think it's really a factor of how I use it. I do try to be very intentional, and when there is something specific that I do want to work on or work through, I will sit down, have a candle or like very relaxing lighting. I always have my fireplace on. My goal when I got an apartment at some point in my life, I was like, I just want, because I love fire. Leo, haha. I just wanted a TV stand with a fireplace. And so when I was able to do that, that was a goal for me, and it's huge. So I utilize it all the time. Love having it on. But I'll set a vibe, the mood, whatever kind of experience I'm hoping that this is going to amplify for me. And it's just been really, really helpful. And I know that I've helped other people release shame around using it. There is no shame around using it if you are using it to help yourself. I don't know. It's all our own lives. We all have our own journey. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think alcohol is worse. I actually don't drink anymore. I haven't for like a few years. I don't know. It's just different. I like how I can have more control over this, where alcohol, I literally am like allergic to it, so it's also not good. But I just feel like I have more control. Like if you do smoke a little bit, then I know, because I also pay attention. Like I pay attention to the strains that I use. I pay attention to how they affect me. I pay attention to, now with my cycle, how certain parts of my cycle, I actually have different kind of needs from the plant, or like I need it. It helps me in different ways through each part of my cycle. And I do have PMDD, so I'm also working through dealing with that and learning and recognizing when the switch kind of happens, and then how I can utilize all my tools. And that's usually when I do up my intake a little bit, is during that phase. And then naturally, when I start to, my cycle ends, I get my period, it ends, and a couple days I start to feel like, okay, like I can breathe again. All right, here comes the sun. Like, things are going to be okay again. And naturally, like my consumption will just go down a little bit, because it's all part of my journey. I went through a phase where I was like, whatever, I'll just do it when I feel like it. And I did. And then I was like, I actually I really like this. I make a joke with anyone that'll let me, but I'm like, once I had a good experience and I really learned enough about the plant, I got to a place where I was like, this is fascinating, because I'm so fascinated by it. I think that's why I'm making this video, and I want to continue to kind of share my journey of how it's helped me through things. But I really joke that I'm like, this is what I've been missing my whole life. This is what I've been searching for my whole life, is just to have something that I can use when I need it, when I want to, if I just want to have a good time. And it's also like, I can have a good time with or without anything. And I know that now. I used to use alcohol to help me get out of my bubble and social just anxiety. And now I know more into what that even is. And it's just pretty miraculous. And I think we really just need to break the stigma around it. And yeah. So with that, if this video resonated with you, give this video a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your experience or how you utilize cannabis on your healing journey. And remember to subscribe for more conscious living content. And thank you for hanging out with me. Until next time.